Hey, how y'all doing? This is Hunt 919 Truth to Sports coming to you with another segment. This is my preseason prediction for Utah at Colorado. I'm gonna get right into it. Every prediction that I read up on, or the majority of the predictions, have Utah as having the best team in the conference this year. Now they do return one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, in senior Cameron Rising. Um, He's a very good quarterback, a lot of experience. Defensively, they'll be good. They are expected to compete in the college football playoffs, according to the predictions. They did go 8-5 last year. The notable teams that they beat last year was UCLA, who was ranked number 22 at the time. They beat a ranked USC team who was ranked number 18 at the time, and they also beat Colorado last season. I think it was 23-7. As far as the offenses, they returned one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, as I told you, Cameron Rising. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. In 2022, he had 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, which is a lot, and only 8 interceptions. In 2022, he also completed 65% of his passes. He did miss 2023 because of a knee injury that he suffered in the Rose Bowl. Under him, though, they won the Pac-12 twice, and they beat USC twice, which is a big deal out there on the West Coast. This is his 7th season, so he's a 7th-year senior, which tells you about the experience that he has, which I told you about early on. I think he tore his meniscus, and he tore his MPFL and his MCL, so he tore his knee up. He is ranked 19th out of 25 as far as the top 25 quarterbacks, according to 24/7 Sports. They do have 2 very top of the line tight ends. One guy named is Brent. He's their star tight end. He'll be coming back for his 7th season, which is crazy. Between those 2 guys, is 14 seasons. I know it's a bit exaggerated, but it is what it is. He's another guy that came back from an injury. He got obviously a couple of years. 7 seasons is crazy in college to me. Over his career, he's accumulated 148 catches, 1,800 yards, almost 2,000 yards, and 16 receiving touchdowns. He has 4 rushing touchdowns as well, and those are very good numbers for a tight end. I'm sure he will be considered as a pro this upcoming year. They also have a 4-star tight end transfer from UCLA named Carson Ryan. So as far as the tight ends, they are well covered in that position. As far as the running back, Micaiah Bernard, who missed 11 games last season on an off-the-field injury. Another good player who was out last year. The most yards that he's had in the game, or most yards he's had in the season, was 533 in 2022. So he has he want to come back and have a good season after being off for 11 games last season. As far as the wide receivers, they do have a USC transfer, Dorian Singer, who was named to the AP All Pac-12 first team in 2022. No, I think he was at Arizona. I'm sorry. I always question why did they leave when they're doing good. He was an all Pac-12 performer, but it is what it is. But last year, he only had 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. The most catches he had in the game was 3, and the most yards he's had was 44 and was touchdowns. So maybe that's why he transferred from his last school. He started at USC, and then he was at Arizona, so he transferred from Arizona. So he had a good year at USC. For whatever reason, fell off at Arizona, so that's why he transferred, I'm assuming. In 2022, he had 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns before he got, before everything started kind of going downhill for him. As far as the defense, they have a hard-nosed defense. Last season, they had a lot of injuries, but with all of those injuries, they only gave up 19 points a game, which was tied for 18th in the nation. So that tells you that their depth is good, even though the starters were hurt. The backups were able to come back in and perform at a high level. But they do have 8 returning starters, so they should also be solid in the secondary. They did pick up a Georgia Tech transfer named Kenyan Kenan Johnson. Excuse me, I'm terrible with pronouncing names. They also have a Michigan transfer in Cameron Callahan. I'm sorry, Calhoun. I know I pronounced it bad. I'm sorry. So with them having a top quarterback coming back, they have a top tight end coming back. Both of those guys with 7 years of experience. On top of them having a good team, on top of them having good depth, they have an All Pac-12 wide receiver. They have a very good defense. And they have one of the best overall teams in the conference. And they're good enough to be considered to be in the college football playoffs. I have them beating Colorado. I think it'll be a good game early on, but I think with the experience of the quarterback, as long as his knee is holding up, which by this time of the season they should know if it's holding up or not, I think they'll beat Colorado at Colorado, and I give you the reasons why. It's been Hunt 919 Truth Sports. Ride with me. It's been Hunt 919 Truth Sports. Ride with me.